All right. Tashiara, how are we doing?
Let me get the mic. We're going to be fighting over this mic.
We're going to fight over that microphone. That's good.
No, don't start it.
It's all good.
It is all good. Everyone, what's up? What's up? TC Lifestyle Fit with the TC Lifestyle Fit podcast.
Yes.
We're here with Ty and Tashiara Wilson of Kachava Coffee. Two of my favorite people in the world. Two of the best entrepreneurs. I love working with them. They come to our gym to train. You can see they're getting stronger with each workout. And I'm just blessed to have you on our show today to share some of your wisdom about some of your personal experiences with health, entrepreneurship, and just being a leader in the community, being leaders in the community. Before we get started, can you tell everyone who you are? The dynamic duo. Maybe you can start with that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Tell us about the dynamic duo.
Well, referred to as TNT Dynamite.
Okay.
That's who we are. No, we are just two lovely souls that, fell in love a long time ago, 9 years. And we started to do business together.
9 years.
3 kids later.
Wow. 9 years you've been married.
Yep.
9 years.
Three kids.
3 kids.
How are you able to manage being a mother and a father while running such a successful enterprise here at Kachava Coffee?
Yeah.
And you're doing True Purpose, right?
Yeah.
You're the leader of True Purpose, right?
True
Can you
Purpose
elaborate on that project as well?
Yeah, True Purpose is a nonprofit that we focus on building affordable housing, and then we kind of teach entrepreneurs what sustainability looks like.
Wow.
So the question you asked is, how do we do all of that?
How do you do it all? That's tough.
A lot of teamwork, a lot of grace, a lot of just taking one step at a time, and each enterprise, each business, not over complicating things in life. And so one thing we look forward to is our health, because if we're not healthy physically, spiritually, mentally, we wouldn't be able to do any of the businesses that we have today. And so physical health is very important, because we get to spend that 1 hour with you to declutter all that life throws at us, right? And so physical health is so important on making sure our brain stays healthy, that we're sharp as a whip. In working in business.
Yeah, I love that. I think physical health is one of the most important pieces to doing business. I think at a high level. And also I would say too, is that the discipline we talk about. But secondly, I would say, like, we have a value system that drives our lives. And we know the difference between our value systems and the circumstances that we face every single day. So we lean heavy on that direction. The value system, it kind of gives us the right perspective on where we're going and what we're doing.
And if you ask us what are our 6 core values, fitness is one of them. And so fitness is a part of our everyday life. It's just not something we do for an 8-week program or a 6-week program, but fitness is who we are. And we value fitness. We value our health. We value what we put inside our bodies, how much we work out a week. We value those things. And so when you talk about disciplines and value systems, and I would say what you don't focus on dies. If you don't have any area of focus, it dies, right? If fitness is not a part of your value system, it dies. There's no plan for it. So
Wow. Well, I remember some conversations we had at the gym about discipline and direction, and how they are deeply intertwined. And it was just last year, towards the end, it was, I believe, November, I was given the opportunity to connect with some leaders in Omaha at an event called Epic for Girls, and Dawn Staley came in town. I don't know if you both are familiar with who Dawn Staley is. She's one of the best basketball players, an Olympic gold medalist, South Carolina, one of the most winningest coaches in not just women's basketball, but college basketball in general. And she dropped so many good nuggets, but the number one nugget that just resonated with me so well, she talked about how everybody has discipline. It's all about, where do you direct that discipline.
Yes.
And you were at the gym the other day, you shared a story about a man you saw outside, and you gave him some knowledge on how to have the right perspective on what to do with that discipline. I think most of us have that challenge every day. We have goals we want to pursue, and we also have other aspects of life that are holding us back.
Yeah.
And we're putting all our attention towards the things that aren't even serving us, aren't even making us better.
100%.
So how does what are your experiences?
Yeah. So I experienced that, what I was committing to. I was committing to be undisciplined, to live an undisciplined life. So that the end result was what undisciplinaries get. If you're not disciplined, you're going to get the negative result. And I think that connotation alone will help you see the underlying reason why discipline is so important. And the reason why I say that is because if you can't develop discipline, you will always have difficult days.
No discipline equals difficult days.
They're
So
already hard enough.
When you do have discipline?
That you're going to be able to get through them with a better understanding of why discipline is so important.
Wow.
And I think too, to add to that statement, it's direction,
So good.
right? When you have disciplines in your life, you know what's a distraction and what's not a distraction. So a lot of things come at us that are distractions, right? Like that are inevitable. You can't predict, you get that phone call and someone is dying, or you get that phone call and business is not working out today. You get that phone call. That's inevitable. But then there are distractions that come our way on a daily basis. Do I focus on what's on social media? Do I focus on what's on the news? I get to choose in my disciplines when those red flags come up. Hey, that's a distraction. I don't have to answer that distraction. That distraction doesn't have to have my attention.
Wow. Another challenge I believe I've experienced this challenge myself is, sometimes you know what the truth is because it's been demonstrated, right? You've seen it, like, okay, that's true. But then there are other times we develop belief systems that are fallacious because we've heard it repeated over and over a period of time, and we have adopted that fallacy as a truth, and it's not helping us get from point A to point B or to the next level of our life. How does a person understand the difference between activities that help them grow and activities that aren't helping them grow from that perspective?
Wow, that's a big question, man. But the thing is that you always, I think, for me, I look at my life as a spotlight. I was watching this show, and Doc Rivers, he was the head coach of the Boston.
Okay, Doc Rivers, yeah.
He was the head coach of the Boston Celtics, and they hadn't won a championship for years. So he told them, we're going to do something. We're going to set a big expectation on our basketball team. So he shined a spotlight where the banner was supposed to go.
Oh, wow. I love that.
So, and when they walked in there, and the spotlight never went away. So every day they seen this spotlight of where this banner was supposed to go. And what that meant to them was that every day they had to come in ready to grow. They had to come into practice ready to grow, ready to elevate, ready to know that we have to move forward every day in order to get that banner where that spotlight is. And I look at my life in the same views of that. My life has to be, I can't just be moving and making progress are two different things. And what I'm telling you is that you have to be connected to the influencers and the people that are giving you the advice to not just allow you to move, but to make progress. The reason why I'm connected to TC, because I know he's making me progress in my health goals. He's putting in plans, and he's showing me just by his own life that this is how you
First law of leadership.
By his own life, this is how you're going to grow.
That's so good. I didn't watch that show, but I remember when you talk about how do you grow every single day? Well, what's the definition of insanity? If you keep doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. But one thing I would say that stood out to me when I started working with you is like, in my eating, you said, what's one thing you can change? It's the 1%. It is not a whole lot of things. And for me, it was hummus and carrots. You were like, Tashiara, you can't work a, 12-hour day and not eat whatsoever. I don't care if it's hummus and carrots. That's the 1% difference. Guess what? Today I have a bag of mixed vegetables for lunch because I know I'm going to work a 12-hour shift and I have food ready and available. That didn't take any time to prep. It didn't take any time to do. We cooked mixed vegetables last night. We had leftovers, so I'm eating leftovers for lunch.
Let me add to that.
Yeah, please add.
What you're saying is that your life path is determined by your choices.
Yes.
Your life path is determined by your life choices. So I would let that just resonate with you. What are my choices like today? That's how I'm going to grow. That's how I'm going to make progress.
And I would say too, who are you letting make your life choices with you? That's important too.
That's good.
Because a lot of people we were doing a devotion this morning and our kid said, a lot of us get our decisions from our friends, right? Because they influence us or they tell us, I would do this or I would do that. Whoever you're listening to, don't give them the control. You make the decision to move forward.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Remember we were in the gym just a couple days ago and we were talking about control.
Yeah. This is powerful.
We are spirits or souls inside of a body. We're not a body that has a soul or a spirit. That's what I believe C.S. Lewis said. Yeah. So every day I'm the captain, I'm the master of my results, mentally, physically, spiritually. How do you help someone understand that concept of success is not found in someone else or found in how someone tells me what I need to do to reach my next level? It's me showing up every day and doing the work required to better myself.
Every single day.
How does someone come to that realization?
I would say, are you living your life for you or are you living it for other people?
That's very good. Wow.
Sometimes we get caught up in just the environment of things. And we try to adapt to what that environment and how it's making us feel. So what I'm saying is that if you're not willing to stand out, you're going to fit in.
Wow. That's so good.
Yeah.
I read somewhere, I can't remember if this was a men's health, it was a health magazine, but people are actually living longer. They're living longer now. And I'm not sure if that has a lot to do with people taking action on improving their physical body through exercise and nutrition, or if it's surgical interventions and pills and other medicines. What is your perspective on that?
You better be happy.
Stay happy. Yeah, right. Exactly.
You better be happy. No, I think
maybe you can start with talking about some things you are doing right now to improve the chronological aspect of your health and just your health span, how well you live.
Yeah, I would say the first thing I think about when I think of longevity is what I put in my body.
What you put in, that's number one, everyone. That's
number one. What are you putting in your body? And not only just food, but medications as well, too. So we had the discussion in the gym, like how many times a year we go to the doctor. And we said, maybe once a year, to do a wellness checkup, but we're not in there for like a chronic disease or anything like that. And that's because of we watch what we put in our body, what we eat, what medications we take. Those things are important. So if you're on insulin or you're on a sleeping medication or the depression or anxiety medications, those affect your body long term that they don't tell you about. You watch those commercials and they say, this is for anxiety. And then it has this long list of side effects. That's your body that's dealing with those side effects.
Wow.
And so I would say the first thing I think of when it comes to longevity is what I'm putting in my body. And then the second one would be what I think. Our mental is everything. Like joy, happiness, peace. What am I mentally thinking on every single day?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's for me, it's more spiritual. For most people, we're getting direction from everything outside of what God says for us to do. You know what I mean? If it's not God first, then it's God last, and the in between is unhealthiness. And the most healthy I've ever been is when I go and I seek out what God is saying and how He's saying for me to live. When I'm not doing that, I'm in the most unhealthiest state, physically and mentally and spiritually.
That's true.
Wow, it's like and Lord knows I'm still working on so many different aspects of my life. But what helps me was every time you come into the gym, you always drop some knowledge. I think I'm here to help you, but you're always there to help me. But you said wisdom every day. Your goal is to seek wisdom. And I automatically thought about Proverbs 8 or Proverbs in general. That's where all the wisdom is. And it talks about lady wisdom. And then it also talks about lady folly. There's two choices we get to make every day. One decision is moving us in the direction of our goal. And the other decision we make is pushing us further away, even to a point where it might destroy us or the people around us.
And one thing I thought about when it comes to wisdom is before we even get to like goal setting, right? You have to know who you are. Or you have to ask this question. Am I at my best self? Like, is this, if you can imagine yourself like being the best.
And what you want to, right?
Yeah, and what you want, is that you currently? And then that's how you figure out what goals I need to set. Because it may not be a physical goal. It may be a spiritual goal. It may be a mental goal. It may be like, I just need to discover myself so I can see if I'm pleased and what goals I need to set. So many people say beginning of the year, I'm going to set these goals. And then by February, and we're in February, they're gone. Right? Why is that? Because we join the masses, we join the health clubs, and we get on track with eating. But by February, they're gone. By December, we're talking about the new goals we're going to set for the next previous year. So I would say is like, what's the best version of you? Before I got to you and said I needed assistance, I had to come to realization I wasn't my best self. And I had to come to realization that it was not going to take me to help me get better. I had to seek out help. And that was before I even gave you a phone call. Wow,
that's so good.
And that's the best version of yourself, is the disciplined version of yourself. There's more than just physical discipline. It's spiritual discipline. If you are getting up and you're saying, this is what I do say, if you're seeking God and you're disciplined about it, you're going to get the best that God has that He wants to give you. But it's a discipline you have to put in place.
Every single day.
That's all we need every day, right? Is to follow Him. Follow Him with my health. Follow Him with the relationships I have with my wife. Follow Him with the relationships I have with my son and daughter. Kids in the community, with clients. And then He's the ultimate facilitator of success in those areas. Now, what is your word? Maybe you can give us a word, and then also you give us a word, Todd, for someone who is at that, man, they just feel like they're at the rock bottom of their life. But I believe you gotta, before you go up, you gotta start down, right? You don't have to stay down. What's your advice for someone who's at rock bottom in their life right now? In any area, their mental health, physical health, or maybe they're entrepreneur trying to get to that next level of business.
You know what? I had to understand that being at the rock bottom was part of the process. That was part of my process. And that doesn't mean that I'm defeated. That means that I'm about to get things together so that I can move where God wants me to move. And when I realized that, because when you're there, you think the worst.
Yeah,
And really, it's
true.
just part of the process. But I'll tell you what got me out of that. I started to work out. I started to beat the physical up.
Yes, that's good.
Like I just started to work out again. And I said, you know what? I'm starting to see things differently.
I love that.
Yeah, that's so good. I would say, was a lot of things I would say, but I think the most important would be being real with yourself. Like, where are you in life? Because you can look at it from spiritual, physical, and mental. You have to be honest with yourself. I said this to him yesterday. I said, one thing I can say about myself is that I'm honest. When I don't know something, I will say, I don't know it. Let me figure out why I don't know it. So that way I can know it the next time. I'm honest with myself on what I do know and what I don't know. And I stress that all the time to him, like, I don't know that, but I'm going to figure it out. And then I'm going to tell you why I didn't know it in the beginning. And so
knowing where you are determines where you're going to end up going. I love that. Like if I know I'm at the bottom, where I know
there's only the top.
I can only climb out of it.
Having your back against the wall,
or you can stay there though. That's another choice. You could either stay there, and I wasn't willing to stay there.
Away, right?
Yeah, I wasn't willing to stay there.
Yeah,
that's so good. No, I agree with that.
That's good.
I agree with that.
I love that word you gave on exercise.
Yeah,
that's the best thing you could do. I was watching a documentary. Paul Stutz, he's one of the best psychologists in the world, and you guys get a chance, you should watch that documentary. It's on Netflix. But he gave a good word on what people can do to come out of that depression, and it was so simple. Exercise. Start moving. It looks different. It might look different for you or you. Go for a walk. Go for a jog. Do some push-ups. And this is a man who has a Parkinson's condition, and he doesn't allow that to defy his ability
to move,
to operate, and do his job at a high level, which is encourage people to be the best version of themselves. So many different things are happening when you exercise. You know, you're releasing dopamine and serotonin. And to pursue anything meaningful in your life, you can't be in a state where you're feeling bad.
Or sluggish.
You need to feel good. So if you don't know where to start, let's take his advice. Start moving. Start getting some healthy food into your body, some fresh fruit, some vegetables. And make that decision.
Some hummus and carrots.
Hummus and carrots. Decide that you are going to take action on skills that make you more productive.
I agree.
That's good.
Before we wrap up our podcast today, what's the number one goal for Kachava Coffee and True Purpose, Ty, and Mr. Tashiara, the family, the Wilson family, and what amazing, like you two are like the most remarkable people. Like I'm so enamored by like what you've been able to accomplish and how you're able to instill those values into, because your kids are so excellent and precocious. I see your son. He's like a mini version of you guys. What does he got? What's
we have to tell him.
You got to slow down. The kickback. I call him kickback. I call him Mr. Kickback. No, but what do you guys like? You guys are like the army, the Wilson army.
You know what, TC? To speak to that, man, I'm going to be transparent here, and I don't take lightly my relationship with God.
Oh, that's good. And you give it to him.
You got to give it to him, man. And with that being said, he'll give it back to you in return.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
I know. I agree 110% with that, and I would add just legacy, right? Just leaving a lasting legacy. And whether that's a health legacy, a entrepreneurship legacy, but just leaving a legacy, an impact, a footprint in the earth long after we're gone. And so that's what I look forward to.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Well, you both, I know you leave your footprint. If you're going to leave a footprint, make sure it's,
it's a healthy
wide
one.
enough for other people to step in and follow.
Yep.
That's that's so good. You guys have been a blessing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being in my life. Thank you for creating this incredible business. You have people here who are getting healing, not only just through the coffee, but through your example and what you do and what you say. And I love and appreciate both of you.
Love you too.
And you guys, thank you all. Yes, let's thank them. Let's clap it up.
Tune in next session.
Yes, please. Oh, hold on. Before we wrap it up. How can they find you so they can get some of this amazing coffee?
Definitely.
Some of those amazing snacks over there.
Oh, yes. Talking to the mic. 1901 Howard Street. We're right on the corner of 19th and Howard. Come and visit us. 1901 Howard Street.
In Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha, Nebraska.
All right. That's cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Everyone, make sure you like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the TC Lifestyle Fit YouTube channel. I will see you all. What's that?
I said he's the best in the game.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'm the man behind the man and the woman. But we'll see you all next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.